Good day, everyone. So, we are the team Voyagers. So, we believe that to travel is to live. So, I am Erica Espera, and my group mates are Clyde Alasaten, Kate Thomas, Juliet Bongtiwon, and the last one is Jezabel Pakliwan. So, we are assigned to share our knowledge and report the for active learning approaches. So, ibabahagi namin sa inyo kung ano yung mga nalikom naming impormasyon. So, simulan natin kay Jezabel Pakliwan.
So, ayun, magandang araw sa ating lahat. Narito ang definition ng four active learning approaches. Una dito ay ang inquiry-based learning. Sabi dito, this approach focuses on encouraging students to ask questions, investigate topics, and explore their own interest. It promotes curiosity, problem-solving skills, and independent thinking. Students are actively involved in the learning process, and teaching serves as facilitators or guides. So, sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng oportunidad sa mga mag-aaral na magtanong, nagiging aktibong kalahok sila sa kanilang pag-aaral. Ang pagtatanong ay nagbibigay daan sa mga mag-aaral na maging mas aktibo sa kanilang pag-aaral, magkaroon ng critical na pag-iisip, at magkaroon ng pagkakataon na mag-explore ng kanilang sariling mga interest. Sa pamamagitan ng pagtatanong, sila ay nagiging mas mapanuri at mas malikhain sa kanilang pag-aaral. At ang ikalawang definition ay research-based learning. This approach involves students conducting research to acquire knowledge and develop a deeper understanding of a specific topic. Students learn how to gather information, analyze data, and draw conclusions based on evidence. It promotes research skills, critical thinking, and the ability to evaluate sources of informations. So ibig sabihin nito ay ang research-based learning, ang mga mag-aaral ay naglalagay ng kanilang mga katanungan, nagpaplano ng kanilang mga eksperimento o pag-aaral, at naglilikom din ng mga datos at nag-aanalisa ng mga natuklasan. Sa pamamagitan ng kanilang mga proseso, nagkakaroon sila ng mas malalim na pag-unawa sa mga konsepto at pagkakaroon ng kakayahan na mag-apply ng kanilang natutunan sa mga practical na sitwasyon. Yun. Ang ikatlo ay ang problem-based learning. In this approach, students learn by solving real-world problems or challenges. They are presented with a problem or scenario and work collaboratively to find solutions. This method encourages critical thinking, problem-solving skills, teamwork, and the application of knowledge in practical situation. So, ang problem-based learning ay naglalayong palawakin ang kaalaman at kasanayan ng mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng paghahanda sa kanila para sa mga hamon ng tunay na buhay. Ito ay nagbibigay daan sa kanila na mas maging aktibong kalahok sa kanilang pag-aaral. Ito rin ay magkakaroon ng critical na pag-iisip at magkaroon ng kasanayan sa pagsasagawa ng pananaliksik at pagtuklas sa mga problema. Ito ay ang problem-based learning. At ang panghuling definition ay ang project-based learning. This approach involves student working on a long-term project that requires them to apply knowledge and skills to create a tangible product or solve a real-world problem. It promotes collaborations, critical thinking, creativity, and communication skills. Students take ownership of their learning and develop a deeper understanding of the subject matter. So, ang project-based learning ay ito ay isang pamaraan na pag-aaral kung saan ang mga mag-aaral ay gumagawa ng mga proyekto o mga aktibidad na may layuning malinang ang kanilang kasanayan at kaalaman sa pamamagitan ng aktwal na pagsasagawa ng mga gawain na may kahulugan at kahalagahan.
Inquiry-based learning. This approach encourages students to ask questions, explore topics of interest, and investigate real-world problems. By promoting curiosity and critical thinking skills, inquiry-based learning skills help students develop a deeper understanding of concepts and improves their ability to think independently. So this is the importance of inquiry-based learning, wherein students may emphasize their thinking skills here in inquiry-based, wherein they more develop their deeper understandings in the concepts and improves their ability to think independently. Ang kahalagan naman ng research-based learning is a pedagogical approach that allows students to actively engage in the research process rather than simply being passive recipients of information. Students are encouraged to explore topics, ask questions, gather data, analyze findings, and draw conclusions on their own. So, ibig sabihin na ito ay ang pagiging aktibong pakikilahok ng mga estudyante o mga mag-aaral sa proseso ng pananaliksik upang makakuha ng kaalaman at bumuo ng bagong mga pananaw. Nakakatulong ang pamamaraan ito para paunlarin ng mga estudyante ang kanilang kakayahan sa analytical na pag-iisip at paglutas ng problema. Pinapalawak din ang kanilang pag-unawa sa akademikong nilalaman at naghahanda sa kanila para sa hinaharap na pagsasaliksik. The importance of problem-based learning is an instructional method where students work together to solve real-world problems or case studies that are complex and do not have a single correct answer. This method helps students bridge the gap between the theory and practice by requiring them to apply their existing knowledge to practical scenarios. As a result, students develop a deeper understanding of the subject matter and how to use it in real-life situations. The importance Importance of the project-based learning. Project-based learning is an immersive approach where students collaborate on extended projects to tackle authentic real-world problems or topics. Through project-based learning, students go beyond traditional teaching methods and instead focus on hands-on experiential learning. By working on these projects over an extended period, students have a chance to develop key skills such as creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and problem solving. These skills are essential for success in today's fast-paced, complex world where the ability to adapt and innovate paramount. So, sa pamamagitan ng pakikilahok sa mga gawain sa proyekto, ang mga mag-aaral ay nagkakaroon ng pagkakataon na mag-develop ng iba't ibang kasanayan kabilang ang pagiging malikhain, pakikipagtulungan, pakikipag-ugnayan at pagresolba ng mga problemang kinakaharap. Ang project-based learning ay magtataguyod ng pag-a-apply ng kaalaman, nagtataguyod ng autonomiya at naghahanda sa mga mag-aaral para sa tagumpay sa isang dinamiko at palaging nagbabagong mundo.
Magandang araw! Ako naman si Clyda Bilasaten at aking tatalakayin ang pagkakaiba ng apat na active learning approaches. Una ay ang inquiry-based learning. So sabi dito, more on asking question. So it encourages students to ask questions, investigate topics, and explore their own interest. And not teacher-directed. So students are actively involved in the learning process and teachers act as facilitators or guide. And thinking to make meaning. Dito, nag-iisip ang mga mag-aaral upang makakuha ng mga impormasyon at upang maging makabuluhan ang kanilang pagkatuto at dito nabibigyang kahulugan o nabibigyang sagot ang mga tanong na nabubuo sa kanilang isipan. So kung ating titignan, ang inquiry-based learning ay more on asking questions. So tanong ng tanong ang mga mag-aaral kung ano ba yung mga hindi nila naintindihan o yung mga nabuo-buo sa kanilang isipan na katanungan. Pangalawa ay ang research-based learning. So sabi dito ay problem. So this approach involves students conducting research to acquire knowledge and develop a deeper understanding of a specific topic. So sa research-based learning ay nakatuon or nakafocus siya sa problema. Na ang problemang ito ay magbibigay sa atin ng deeper understanding of a specific topic. Kumbaga sa ating research, 'di ba bumubuo tayo ng isang problema at yung problemang ito ay nagbibigay sa atin ng pag-unawa sa espesipikong topiko. Kumbaga sa research-based learning ay nakatuon sa problem at so, pangatlo naman ay ang problem-based. So, sabi dito ay solving problem in unique ways. So, sa problem-based ay nakatuon or nakafocus tayo sa pagre-resolba ng isang problema. We solve problems in unique ways. So, tayo ay nag-iisip ng isang solusyon kung paano natin masusolusyonan ang isang problema. Kumbaga, gumagawa tayo ng ganyan upang masolusyonan ang problemang iyon. We think critically, kumbaga talagang gumagawa or nag-iisip tayo ng malalim upang paano natin solusyonan ang isang problema. So, sa problem-based ay nakatuon naman siya kung paano natin solusyonan ang isang problema. So, dito ay ang solving problems. At ang pang-apat ay ang project-based. So, sabi dito ay work to solve the problem, perform by trying, output. So, It involves students to work on a project that requires them to apply knowledge and skills to create a product or solve a problem, creating a product or output. So, dito sa project base ay nakafocus or nakatuon tayo sa output. So, instead of memorizing, they work to solve the problem. So, kung halimbawa ang isang mag-aaral ay may problema siya sa paggawa ng diorama. So, hindi lang siya memorize kung paano gumawa or yung mga step ng paggawa ng diorama, kundi they work. Kumbaga hands-on, kumbaga dito sa pagsosolusyon ng kanyang problema ay sa huli may makikita tayong output. So, sa paggawa ng diorama, hindi lang memorize ang step, kumbaga they work to solve the problem. Kumbaga gumagawa sila upang nang sa ganun sa huli ay may output na makikita. So, makikita natin ang kanilang engagement, critically thinking, creativity, and they perform by trying. So, sa project-based ay nakatuon siya sa isang output.
Okay, so now we are going to proceed to the ways on how to implement the 4 learning approaches. So let's start with the number 1, the inquiry-based learning. Let the students brainstorm ideas for questions to ask during class. So, in order to keep your class more interesting and more engaging, you have to ask questions to your students. So, like, itatanong mo sa kanila kung ano ba dapat yung mga inaasahan na outcome or output para sa kanilang kursong napili. Ano ba yung mga dapat nilang pag-aralan sa kursong napili nila? O ano pa ba yung mga kinakailang estratehiya upang mas maging interaktibo pa ang kanilang klase. Ganon. So, sa number 2 naman, let them design their own experiments to explore a topic. So, you're going to let the students to choose a topic they're interested in and brainstorm different ways to investigate it and evaluate. And after that, they were going to brainstorm together with their classmates and then come up with a discussion. Together with their group mates, they can gather informations, materials, and then conduct the experiment on their own. So by allowing the students to design their own experiments, they become active participants in the learning process. So they have the freedom to choose what they want to investigate, how they want to approach it, and what methods or materials they want to use, and this promotes critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity. Number 3, allow them form small groups to share ideas and investigate shared interests. So from this, allow them to have a small group. So, i-group mo sila, bigyan mo sila ng isang pangkatang gawain for them to share their ideas. Sabi nga nila na 2 heads are better than 1. So, ibig sabihin nun, ang bawat isa sa atin ay may kanya-kanyang kakayahan, kaalaman, at karanasan na maibabahagi na pwede nating mapunan yung pagkukulang ng bawat isa kasi we are gathering new ideas, new opinions, new experiences. Hindi ba? So, mula doon, makakakuha tayo ng mga magagandang impormasyon na magagamit natin upang makontento yung isipan natin, no? So, from this group activity, we are also increasing the communication and collaboration skills of the students. And number 4, ask students to reflect on what worked about the process and what didn't. So from this, you have to assess also your students or evaluate, no? on what worked well about their recent assignment process and to share their thoughts about the effectiveness of their educational process, their learning styles, or their activities, their performance in the classroom. So by assessing your students, you can help them to improve their future workflows and increase their overall success in studying. Number 5, allow them to use technology to explore data and answer questions collaboratively. So you should allow your students to use also technology in gathering informations or data from different websites and platforms, so that they will have access to a vast amount of information and resources that may not be readily available in the classroom. So you should allow them to explore beyond the limitations of traditional resources. At hinahayaan mo rin yung mga mag-aaral mo na mag-evaluate, suriin yung mga kinakailangang impormasyon na kukunin nila. And made-develop dito yung critical thinking nila, kung ano yung mga kailangan at hindi kailangan ng mga impormasyon. So while in number 6, help them develop a professional work of ethic that will help them succeed. So kapag sinabi nating professional work ethic, yung mga dapat na sinusundan nila, yung dapat na ginagawa nila. So let them guide them to organize their time management, where it involves self-directed and independent work. They have to learn to manage their time in doing their given tasks, and they should also set their goals in order to acquire it step by step and prioritize their tasks as a students. And they should also be responsible and accountable about their actions, about their learning approach, and their learning styles. So they have to analyze it also. Yun yung mga kinakailangan nilang gawin. Kasi kapag sinabing professional work ethic nga, ay the good values, the behaviors, the moral, ethical standards na kinakailangang ipakita at ginagawa ng isang mag-aaral. So, from that, kapag sinunod na nila yun, dahan-dahan magtatagumpay sila sa kanilang ginagawa at organize ang kanilang mga ginagawa bilang estudyante. Dumako naman tayo sa research-based learning. Allowing the students to experience the actual research beyond a dissertation project. So, tayong mga nasa 3rd year ay inatasan tayo na gumawa ng isang research, mag-conduct ng isang study sa mga schools na napili natin na kung saan may mga problema doon na kailangang solusyonan. So, mula doon, we are going to find solutions or provide solutions to that certain problem they are facing. So, gagawa tayo ng isang research study. Naglalaman ito ng chapters 1 to 5. So, mula dun sa mga informations na yun, organized at ini-evaluate natin yung mga information na nilalagay natin doon kasi kinakailangan nating suriin kung ito ba ay reliable or akma doon sa paksa na ating napili to support the idea or the main topic ng ating study. So from that, we are experiencing a real world situation, 'di ba? So naghahanap tayo ng mga solutions na makakatulong doon sa kinakaharap ng mga paaralan upang pataasin pa or kung maaari nga ay matigil na yung problema na kinakaharap ng mga schools na yun. So yun naman yung research-based learning. So next, we have dito naman tayo sa problem-based learning. So we have contextual learning. So it means that learning should begin by engaging students in tasks generated from a professionally relevant setting in order to promote transfer of learning. So makukuha natin yung atensyon ng mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng mga real-life issues or real-life situations kagaya na lamang ng diskriminasyon, inequalities, kalusugan, kahirapan, politics, peace, democracy, climate change, at marami pang ibang isyong panlipunan. So, dito naman sa number 2, constructive learning. So, it encouraged the students to actively construct and reconstruct their knowledge by asking and answering critical questions, reasoning and relating concerns. So, to activate past knowledge of the students, we should ask the learners what they already know about the topic or what they want to know, or ask the students to build a concept map to help them connect the core idea to other informations, and let the students provide explanations in their own words. Dito naman sa collaborative learning, it requires 2 or more learners to collaborate and learn from one another. So, ibig sabihin, it requires na magkaroon ng kagrupo or a pair ang mga estudyante to share their ideas, to collaborate, to communicate, to freely open and share their ideas, their own opinions na makakatulong sa isa't isa. And they will learn about a complex topic, 'di ba? They will connect each other's opinions. They will exchange their own ideas to share their common aims and interests. So dito naman sa self-directed learning, students should lead their own learning by setting goals, evaluating their progress, and involving them in problem-solving discussion to select appropriate resources and problems. So parang dito, self-assessment siya para sa mga estudyante na kung ano ba yung mga dapat at hindi dapat na gawin upang sa gayon ay maging mahusay sila. So, setting goals, ano ba yung mga kailangan nilang gawin, mga dapat gawin. So, yung mga progress nila, ano pa ba yung kailangan nilang i-develop sa kanilang sarili. Okay, let's proceed to project-based learning. So, number 1, begin with a driving question. So, ibig sabihin, it must be a challenging one. It must be thought-provoking. So, it should stimulate students' curiosity and provoke critical thinking. So it should inspire them to explore complex issues, solve problems, and generate new ideas. So you're allowing them to engage in deep inquiry and analysis. So you're allowing them to see the practical application of their learning, of their knowledge. And it should be also aligned to a learning goal appropriate for the um, different kind of students, different type of students, 'di ba? Kasi hindi lang naman iisang klase yung mga estudyante. We have slow learners, we have gifted students, 'di ba? So, dapat naka-align pa rin doon, dapat angkop pa rin sa kanila yung mga ito. At hahayaan natin silang makapag-isip kung paano nila idedesenyo yung project na yun. Kung paano nila ito tatapusin, kung paano nila ito gagawin in their creative way, 'di ba? So, and then, dito sa number 2, inquiry process. So, um, they should apply their knowledge. So, it is the application of their knowledge. And they should also ask and answer critical thinking questions and locate resources, yung mga kinakailangan ng mga materyales, mga impormasyon upang matugunan yung kinakailangan nila sa project na yun. So, ngayon, they're going to find the solution. So, they're going to analyze the problem. So, identify the problem that presented in the project. So, they're going to collect and conduct research to gather relevant informations and datas na makakatulong sa pagbuo ng kanilang proyekto. So they're going to generate a wide range of ideas from their group or from their own ideas. They're going to make different options and different strategies on how are they going to create that and finish that project in a creative way. So they're going to facilitate the reflection process where they can evaluate their learning and the effectiveness of their solution, and they're going to learn from the lessons that they have done, and it also encouraged them to communicate their findings and solutions to their audience, 'di ba? So finding solutions is just as important as the final outcome. So madedevelop dito yung critical thinking, collaboration, and problem solving throughout the project na ginawa nila. So makikita dito yung pagiging malikhain ng isang mag-aaral. So, next, sa present students finding. So, dito na makikita yung project nila, yung output nila. So halimbawa dito, kunyari, isang instructional material na isang miniature, 'di ba? So, miniature na isang lugar sa isang maikling kwento na napili ng mga mag-aaral. So, where the students find the proper measurements of the used materials to make it perfect and presentable in a creative way. So, 'di ba, magdidesisyon muna dito yung mga mag-aral kung ano yung mga gagamitin nilang materyales, paano nila ito gagawin, saan nila ito ilalagay, anong mga kulay ang gagamitin nila. So, mula doon sa paggawa na yun, ilang oras yung gugugulin nila sa paggawa nung output na yun. So, mula doon, nasusukat at nai-apply na ng mag-aaral yung kakayahan niya sa paggawa ng isang proyekto mula sa mga ideya niya, sa paggawa ng kung paano niya tatapusin, kung ano yung mga materials na kinakailangan niya. Ganoon yung isang proseso ng project-based learning.
So ayan, magandang araw sa ating lahat. So ngayon, aking tatalakayin naman ang role of technology in the 4 learning approaches. Una ay ang inquiry-based learning. Access to information, collaborative tools, data analysis. So dito, malaki ang role ng technology in inquiry-based learning because students are allowed to access informations para maliwanagan sila doon sa tanong or topic, and from that informations, they are able to analyze and evaluate, and they were able to answer the topic or question given to them. So, ang pangalawa ay ang research-based approach. So, sabi dito, online databases and libraries, digital research tools, simulation and modeling software. Technology plays a vital role in this approach kasi students are allowed to use different websites or platforms sa pag-gather ng mga informations and data na kinakailangan nila. Students will develop their research skills and information skills kasi susuriin talaga nila ng mabuti kung reliable ba yung mga informations na kinukuha nila. Kasi may mga ibang websites na hindi naman reliable ang mga informations. Ang pangatlo naman ay ang problem-based approach. Online problem-solving platforms, collaborative tools, and data collection and analysis tools. Technology can provide access to a wide range of information and resources, allowing students to explore and analyze real-world problems in a more interactive and engaging way. It enhances the learning of the students. Lastly, the project-based approach. Digital tools for project management, multimedia creation tools, online platforms for collaboration and feedback. By the help of technology, students can research some samples from the internet as a model or inspiration on how they will do their project, to identify the materials needed to finish the product. In conclusion, malaki ang role ng teknolohiya sa pag-aaral ng mga bata dahil lahat na ang mga impormasyong hinahanap ng mga bata ay maaari na nila itong mahanap o makita sa internet. Hindi na nila kailangan magpunta sa library. Ngunit kinakailangan din naman maging critical thinker sila sa mga nakikita at kinukuha nilang mga impormasyon.